welcome to Hackers Teaching Hackers 2021 CTF Solve video series. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the third reverse engineering challenge called Challenge Response. Let's go ahead and get started. There is a very interesting, somewhat amusing story behind this. Only one person solved it who ended up being the winner of the CTF. And I actually forgot to put the challenge on this, which kind of concerns me. I feel like I was going crazy because I was sure I put everything and tested everything correctly. But I forgot to attach the actual challenge binary to this. So the question is, how can somebody who won the CTF actually solve a challenge that doesn't even have the binary required to reverse engineer the challenge to solve it? And we'll talk about that. So I have to apologize to the winner of the CTF Soothsayer because when I got home, I started looking at these challenges, just get my, like the right context around solving them again. And I looked at this, I'm like, wait a minute, this is impossible to solve. How do you even have this? And I contacted them on Discord and just say like, hey, how did you solve that challenge? And they said, oh, if the challenge starts with an H, you just give it back to itself and it works. Like, what? Are you kidding me? And we'll explore why. All right, so it gives us a challenge. It wants a response. So give it some type of response. Invalid response, this attempt has been logged. So I'm not even going to open up the actual binary because I want the same kind of solve experience that the winner of the CTF had. This is wild to me. Nobody contacted me. Nobody mentioned anything in Discord. And maybe they just thought that like this is legitimate how the challenge was supposed to go. Like there's some pattern here that we should know. But it blows my mind that somebody was able to solve this. They actually found a logic flaw in the challenge and solved the challenge. It was not supposed to be solvable this way. We had no idea. So this ends up being pretty funny. The actual algorithm here is that it generates a random value of a fixed length. So it's always going to be this length, whatever it ends up being. It's going to expect a response back that is the rot or rotation, not 13, but whatever the ordinal of this mod 26 is. Okay, so let's go to here and do this. I'll go to Python. I'm going to say the ordinal of C, for example, mod 26. So basically means we divide the ordinal of C, which is 99. We divide it by 26, and whatever the remainder is what our mod is, right? Our modulo. So we're just taking this input challenge, getting this value, finding this, and then doing a rot 21 on it. When we do that, we ask the user for a response and we check their response against our internally calculated version, like the thing that we expect to get back. And if they reply with it, then that's correct, right? So if we did this like with an A, it would be rot 19. If we got a challenge that came back to us that happened to be generated and started with a B, it'd be a rot 20. But if it was a rot started with an H, the rot is 0, which means that there's no rotation at all. It's the exact same thing that was presented as a challenge. And this is exactly what the winner told me when I asked them, how on earth did you solve that challenge? So let's go ahead and try to get a case where this happens. So we're basically looking for it to spit us back an H. May have to stop the video depending on how long this takes. I have a script that does this, but I just want to do it. Kind of shows how often this actually happens. Come on, you can do it. Give me an H. Means none of these, if you fed back any of the, no. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to give it back to itself. And it works, right? And it's because of what we just saw. So let me go ahead and do this. We'll feed this back to itself. Incorrect response. So this is crazy. I mean, I don't know how you like, I don't know what the logic is to make that happen, but I'm so impressed. It is so cool to see a challenge, and I wonder what the thought process was. Like, I wish I could just like see a transcript of the thought process that went on. to anyone who attempted this challenge, not just the person who got it right, because it seems like, what am I missing here? What is the trick? How am I supposed to reverse engineer this when I'm just getting random bits back and forth? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Another approach that I tried to write a solve script with, and I'll show you solve. I have this thing called solve.py. It just does the same algorithm. It just does like the rot of whatever. So if I ran this and collected this, and did python solve.py, gave it that, it'll give me a response of what to give to get it. And like, this was what they were supposed to do, is give the binary, go and find that it's actually taking the first character, it's doing the rot of that value, and then it's like rotating or looping over every other character doing that. But there was a flaw in the way that I did this that I didn't think about or didn't realize, and it was solvable without it. So if I do something like solve CR, oops, and we're going to just run this with Python. What this is doing is it's using pwn tools to connect to the service, read the challenge, generate the response. It basically is just doing a rot 13, and it'll just keep doing 13 over and over again, hoping that it hits a character that is a rot 13, and it just did. So the response started with a U. It did the rot 13 and then got this. So let's see if I do tab, so I can keep that Python, the ord of U, and then I do mod 26, is a 13. So as expected, this is a rot 13. It got the starting thing with a U. We did rot 13 on it, and it worked. So I suppose there could be different ways to solve this, but like, you would need to know that you're doing a rot something and continuously send it back and just happen to align at that right time. We saw the number of times that I had to reconnect to the challenge over and over and over again to get the H or to get the U over here. It just takes persistence. It takes just, I don't know what it takes. I think that's super interesting. So let's go ahead and grab this. We'll copy it. That is, it's embarrassing, but also like, I want to talk about it because it's so amazing. Like, what a cool story to have. I think this is probably one of the like, craziest things that I've ever seen running or playing in a CTF. Somebody challenge, like, definitely seen people solve challenges in ways that like we didn't anticipate or the organizers didn't see that was like possible. But this is really cool to have happen. So anyway, that's how challenge response was supposed to be solved. Next, we're going to be going over remote control, which is a black box RE challenge, sort of like the way that this one turned out. Until next time, see you later.